Okay, these are the 5.4 notes. We are talking about dividing polynomials. This is page 1. Objectives are at the top. You can read through those. We are going to start with a review. We want a polynomial function with the given information, and we want to sketch this. So I'm going to start with the sketch. I'm going to start with that intercept of 0, -9. I'm going to plot that on there right there. I'm going to skip the n = 5 for now. That means I have got a polynomial of degree 5, and my roots should help me figure that out. So I've got a root at x = 3 with a multiplicity of 2. So there's my x = 3. I've got an x = 1 with a multiplicity of 2. And I have an x = -1 with a multiplicity of 1. As x goes to -infinity, f of x goes to +infinity. So as x gets really, really small, goes out towards the negative end, our y is going up towards +infinity. And as x goes to +infinity, f of x is going to -infinity. And now, got all this part in here. X = -1 with a multiplicity of 1. We know that our function goes straight through at 1. We come down and hit 0, -9. I have got a multiplicity at x = 1, so it's going to touch and bounce off. And I got a multiplicity 2 at x = 3. It's also going to touch and bounce off. Not really worried how precise it is beyond that. Something like this. Okay? We need the equation, so let's start with what we've got. F of x equals, we'll check to find the a in a minute, our multiplier. We know that's got to be negative because this graph goes down to the right. I have got an x - 3 with a multiplicity of 2, an x - 1 with a multiplicity of 2, and an x + 1 with a multiplicity of 1. That does give me a 5th degree polynomial. I know that I've got that intercept 0, -9. That means that when I plug in 0 for x, I am going to get -9 for y. So let's see how we're looking here. I've got -3 squared, which is 9, -1 squared, which is 1, and 1, which is just 1. I got -9 equals a times 9. Convention says we put the number first. I am dividing by 9, and my a equals -1. And that means my polynomial here is -1 times x - 3 squared times x - 1 squared times x + 1. For b, we want to see what we remember about long division. It's important that we don't use a calculator for this because we are going to model this with the polynomials. We start with the furthest most left. 21 goes into 28 one time. Put my 21 underneath, I subtract, I get 79. Let's see, 21 times 4 is going to be 84. That's too big. So we're going to go 21 times 3, which gives me a 63. And I have a remainder of 16. Should be less than my 21, and it is. Now example 1. I've got a 3rd degree polynomial that has been factored, and we just want to make this relationship here. My linear factors are these parts. Each of these has a 0 or a solution that goes with it. That is the x that makes that 0. And they also have an x-intercept that goes with that. When I plug in -3 for x, I get 0 for y. When I plug in -1 for x, I get 0 for y. And when I plug in 2 for x, I get 0 for y. And that is the end of page 1.